Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. And in this video I'm going to talk about Diablo. Count how many times I switched the pronunciation of that word for a cookie. And just the Diablo 3 online bullshit. So I have not played Diablo 3, I'll come out and say that right now, so all of this is pretty much second-hand knowledge and me doing a little bit of research for a change. But I can firmly say that it's complete and utter arse, and I am disappointed in video game players because they'll bitch and moan till the fucking cows come home about Mass Effect 3's ending, but when they buy a fucking game you can't even play, they're quiet and they tell other people who bitch about it to shut the fuck up. I don't get it. It does not make sense. But anyway, here are my thoughts on this. So if you don't know, Diablo 3 you can only play while connected to the internet. Now, when I talk about the DRM, which is what this is, all this can be said about Ubisoft and other companies who do online only. So if you don't know, you can only play the game while you're connected to the internet, even the single player. But Diablo 3 hasn't got a single player. It kind of has by default. If you go into I'm assuming you create your own private server and just banhammer any cunt that tries to join. But then, because you're in a server, you're connected to the internet, so you'll probably lag. If you understand. And a lot of people have been lagging, especially from my country, so there you go, so that's been happening. But off the back of a terrible fucking launch week, as I knew it would happen, we all knew it would happen. But the problem is that no one could just jump in and play single player, because single player doesn't exist. Diablo is a single player fucking game with co-op. The multiplayer, yeah, okay. But Diablo has always been a single player co-op game. Diablo 1, Diablo 2. Now, if you want to make Diablo 3 an MMO, which is what it fucking is, then that's fine. Market it as an MMO and tell people it's an MMO. You know, don't lead people in with the belief they're going to be, oh, if the servers are down, I can just boot up the single player. You can't. And why can't you boot up the single player? Because apparently, being online only 24/7 makes it harder for people to pirate. Which I don't believe to be the actual reason. I actually believe the real reason that it's like that is so people can't cheat the auction house. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But I don't understand why, if people are pirating the game, okay, that's fair enough. I completely understand that if you create something and people pirate it, you want to protect that product. But I don't think that you should protect the product by fucking, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Disadvantaging the people who actually paid the money and bought it. So these people who have bought the game have to go through all this loophole bullshit, and a lot of people are losing their accounts, I've heard. I don't know much about that, so I won't talk about it. But a lot of people are losing their accounts. You can't play the game. You can only play the game when Blizzard says you can play the game, as long as the servers are online, and that's fine. If you're an MMO, just Blizzard, come out and say, no, sorry, Diablo 3 is an MMO, and that'll be fine. But it's Diablo. It's not fucking World of Warcraft. And another issue I have is with the auction house. So in my theory, they might have actually said that this is the reason, I couldn't find it. But what I think that they've done is online only, is so that you can't cheat and somehow get items offline that you shouldn't be able to get and sell them for heaps of money in the auction house. Now that's fair enough. So why can't you just put a single player mode in where the items you get can't be sold, and then if you want to get items that you can sell, you have to sign into a server or create your own or be online 24/7 so you can be monitored or whatever, you can't cheat. And that way your items are all legit. But it's idiotic not to have a single player. And again, this goes for anyone who does this. What if the internet's down at your house and you want to play video games? You can't. And people need to start whinging about this and complaining. I'm so surprised that people aren't complaining about this shit, because if I bought Diablo 3 and this was happening, I would be even more pissed off than I am now, and I haven't even played the goddamn game. I am pissed off for you. But people are telling people to shut up and stop complaining. I don't understand. I understand that there's this huge thing about gamers' entitlement, and I have talked about that, and I've bitched about people having this ginormous sense of entitlement. But this is legitimate. At the end of the day, you've paid upwards of $60 and more even for a fucking game that was marketed to you not as an MMO, and that you can't even play because it is a fucking MMO. I'm sorry, but Diablo 3 looks like a fucking MMO from what I've seen. You can't play it offline for some DRM bullshit. It's just ridiculous. You know, and like other companies have done this, Ubisoft and all those other ones. What if your internet goes down? What if you have a really crappy internet connection? What if your internet's really spotty and signs in, signs off and just has problems? What if you live in a really popular area and the wireless networks throw everything the fuck off? What if you're going on a trip and you want to play video games? It's ridiculous. If you want to protect your copyright, That is perfectly fucking fine. No problem with it. But do not disadvantage or hinder the people who have actually bought your product, because that's horse shit. I'm emotional. Very emotional about this, because it's horse shit, and I'm pissed off. I'm more pissed off that people aren't talking shit about this. Complain! Why aren't you complaining? People complain about the ending of Mass Effect 3, which is a game that goes for 20 plus hours. They played it for 20 hours in single player that you can go and play right now in single player, even if the EA servers are offline. But they complain about 5 minutes at the end. But they won't complain about buying a $60 fucking game and not being able to play it. Ugh. I don't understand. So hopefully, like, I'm not trying to say that Diablo, I think what it is a lot of people think that if you say something bad about Diablo, you're saying the game is shit. I'm not saying the game is shit. I would never say that. First of all, I've never played it, and second of all, it looks like a damn good game that I hopefully will play one day. But at this point in time, it's bullshit. Put a single player in, and if you're that worried about the auction house, do what I just said and make it so you have to be online to actually have items that you can put on the auction house, because that's what I think's driving this bullshit. So, rate, comment, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me your thoughts. I'm out. Au revoir.